Okay, so working on a Lennox. Looks like it's a G12Q3-110. The blower motor was squeaking pretty bad, and it was kind of cold out, so I kind of kept running it. Even though I would only run it like when I was awake. I would leave it off at night, but then I'd use it in the morning, try to heat the house back up. It eventually stopped. That's what the motor looks like. I did end up leaving that control panel in. There's plenty of space to get it out. And you can kind of see how it has a little lip on the back side that catches on in the back, and then you just bolt those in. Those are just two 7/16 inch bolts or nuts. I just cut the wires. And then of course I took pictures and kind of marked where the wires are like they said to do. On the other side I did loosen up that set bolt for the fan, and now I'm just about ready to pull this off. These are also 7/16. They were just in there like that, holding it down. I think that's covers it so far. Okay, so I'm in the barn. I actually put the motor back in. I cleaned it up a little bit because I tested it out by itself, and it seemed to be okay with the low setting. So I just went ahead and tried to stick it back in and see what happened. So all I'm doing is I'm connecting the green wires to the ground, the white wire to the white, and then there's a red for the low, a yellow for the medium low, brown for the medium high, and then a black for the high, I believe. It was actually written on the inside of my cover for this. And so as you can see, I'm now on the medium high. I already tried the low, but I just want to kind of show you. And so all I did was took an old extension cord, or just an old cord off of a thing, and cut it off and split it up into the three. Make sure it has a ground, and you are grounding it out. So this is the medium. And it does make a little noise, but it's not too bad, and it's actually going pretty good in there. So now I'm getting ready to try the medium, high, and the high. Okay. So again, just make sure your wires aren't touching. None of mine are. But I'm just going to go ahead. The black ones, the one we're disconnecting here from the yellow, and we're just going to connect it over to the brown, because the brown's the next one up, and then find the black. So one other thing I should mention, like I said, make sure the wires aren't touching any other ones, so the ground's not touching. They're off to the side. And it's on a chair right now holding it up. Don't forget, you do also want to install the capacitor again. And make sure that's all connected too. So now here we are on the medium high. So again, I just got a normal cord here, just gonna plug it in. So yeah, I feel like this is gonna be fine. I think whatever it was, probably just all the dirt and crap that was in there that just to be a little off balance. So I'm gonna go ahead and put it back in the way it is, see how it goes, and see if I can get heat back in my house again. All right, we'll do one more. We'll do the high, which again is that black one, like I said, and then we'll go from there. So now I do have the black one attached, and again, it's just really quick checking, making sure none of the wires are touching any other wires. Everything looks good. So here is the high. This would be for air conditioning. That air feels amazing. So whatever it was, I think we fixed it. Right. One other thing, if you want to be a little safer than I am, you could use like the wire nuts over the top of those to make sure those wires aren't touching anything else. And then the last thing, when I installed this again, I just simply, I had to clean off this shaft here and inside there because it was a little bit dirty and wouldn't really slide in very easily. But then I made sure that flat part, I don't know if you can see that or not in there, that flat part matched up with the bolt, and I did end up having to turn it by hand with the crescent wrench once I got it on here, and holding the fan and then just turning this part until it got where it needed to be. And then you're just going to kind of slide it back and forth until you get it kind of in the center, and you just spin it around and make sure that it's not hitting anything. So you can see that there's a gap there, there's a gap there, And yeah. So now I'm going to actually use wire nuts when I reinstall it at my house. But I think I've got a working air conditioner again without having to do anything. Okay, so this is where I ended up. As you can see, I just simply used the wing nuts to get those in. And again, I am not a professional by any means, so take my instructions with, you know, a grain of salt. So what I'm doing now is I'm getting ready to light the pilot, and then I'm going to check and see if this actually does in fact turn on like it did at home when I was plugging it in. And also, I did not check to see the voltage because I didn't have one of those ones that goes around the wires to see if I was getting the right voltage. But like I said, I'm just going to try this first and see what happens. Alright, so real quick, if you don't have the instructions, here they are. Basically, if it's already been off for a while, you turn it on to the pilot. You hold the pilot down. I don't know if you can see it in there or not, but that one right there is where it goes. And you hold the pilot down for about a minute. Make sure it stays lit, and then you release it. If it pops back up, you're good. And you turn it on. So this is my switch right here to turn it on. And you move that thing over to the... Sorry, you turn it on first up here. So like it's on the on setting now. There's the pilot back here. If you can see that or not. And then off is over here on this side. You kind of have to push down to get it to move the other ones. So once it's on, then you turn this thing on. And then you're going to go ahead and put it on a setting. So I've got heat in my house again. Yay!